Brisket, sandstorms, flavor. There's everything here. Tips, tricks, a little humor. Stay tuned.
Oh, hey, you're back. All right, so the first thing you do when you're gonna make a brisket is, of course, you gotta trim it, you gotta season it. So that's what I'm gonna show you first things first. So, first thing you wanna do when you're doing a brisket is you just wanna pat it dry a little bit. Got the old paper towel out here for that. Don't have to get crazy, but you don't necessarily want all that juice that you see on there on the final product. Probably is one of those things that doesn't matter a whole lot, but it matters to me. Maybe it'll matter to you. All right, there's a trash can down there. Maybe I'll get it later. So you look at the internet and you're going to see a bazillion different ways to trim a brisket. So I'm not necessarily saying this is the definitive way to trim a brisket. I'm saying this is my way to trim a brisket, and I'll tell you why I do it my way as I'm doing it. So there's some people that will leave all the fat on the meat. I don't, because your salt and your seasonings cannot penetrate through fat. A lot of different channels that I watch and like that got me kind of inspired to do this, they'll do it that way. But like anything, you know, see what works for you. Try somebody else's way and make adjustments. Don't throw your fat away though, because you can use this for a lot of different things. Another thing too is that you'll notice that this brisket is actually trimmed pretty well to begin with. So I'm just getting rid of some of the extra fat on the flat. So you got the flat here, your point's up here, your point's always going to be the higher part. And that has the most intermuscular fat in it. So what I'm trying to do is just get this shaped up. All right, we got a little closer view for you folks. So I like to have a little bit of fat on my flat part to soak in. You might want to adjust this depending on who you got your brisket from and how much intermuscular fat there is, how much marbling. So you can see this one's fairly good, but it's not a ton. You notice on your point side, there's always going to be a little bit more than on your flat side where that's leaner. So if you are going to leave extra fat, pile it up on your flat side. So this here is probably all going to stay like that. And then we got this from when we get a cow every year. And this came from that, and the butchers that did it did a pretty good job already. Normally you have way more fat on a brisket than this. All right, we're going to flip it over and see if anything needs to be done on that side, but this side's looking pretty good. I like it. That is a big hunk of fat right there. I'm going to get rid of, well, you'll see there that it's all kind of flat right there, and that's going to be a good cooking surface. So I'm actually going to leave that. Some of these things are just as you go. Let's move on to seasoning. I always like to season the bottom part of my meat first, because I'm going to flip it over at some point and do the other side, and I want the side that's up to look the prettiest. Not a huge deal, but it's a deal to me. The other thing that you may have to do on here is round off your corners. That one doesn't bother me too much if we were in a barbecue competition, which I've never done before. Not a professionally trained cook, self-taught. They do that. I've watched them. They'll trim this off. They'll make it all nice and round and pretty looking. I want more meat on mine, so I'm leaving it. If it gets dried out, then that's just one dried out piece. Big deal, right? So for seasonings, I like to keep this somewhat simple. I am trying something new that I don't normally do on this one, but I've seen a lot of people use Lowry seasoned salt on the brisket, so apparently that's a secret to good Texas brisket. But normally what I do, my go-to is is I use garlic powder, salt, and pepper. And then I put a little bit of smoked paprika on there for color. So this doesn't really change the taste, but it kind of adds to your bark and makes it look prettier. So we're gonna get these things on there really quick. If you want to come in closer. Everyone say hi to Rachel. She's behind the camera. She's my beautiful wife and assistant. Actually, let's start with salt. You got me all flustered, folks. Really hard. You didn't call me out. Do the back first. Now, because I'm doing the Lowry seasoned salt on there too, which obviously has salt in there. So we're gonna hit it with the garlic next. And when I flip it over, I'll make sure I got all the sides there. Like I said, don't be afraid of over seasoning this. It's really hard to do. The more common thing is to under season it. It's a big hunk of meat. Good on garlic powder. We're gonna hit it with that black pepper and we're gonna hold it the right way. I'm bummed that I gotta wait a few days to eat this. I want to eat it now. It's already smelling really good up in here. This really isn't hard to do. And if you follow these steps that I'm showing you, you'll be surprised at how much you can impress people. If that's the kind of thing you want to do, or just make something really good for you and your family, you'll be their hero. This is the one thing that Dad does really well. That's why he's trying to share it with you. Gonna hit it with that smoked paprika. Just getting that color in there. See how pretty that looks? Oh yeah. Have mercy. My kids have been on a huge Full House kick. I'm gonna have to cut it out with the Full House references. So normally that's where I stop. That would be it. But I'm going to add the Lowry seasoned salt to this. And of course, this does have salt in it. This stuff's really good, by the way. Shout out to Lowry's. They probably don't need me to be their sponsor. I wish they did, though, because I would do it. Oh yeah. All right, had to adjust my top there. Still not much coming out because it's still really full. Oh, there we go. That's the right way. All right, that's good. All right, so this is all seasoned and ready to go. Now, this is one thing that I do that I don't know that everyone does or takes the time to do. So, like, this whole video is to show you how to do brisket with minimum effort, right? So, one of the things that I do to enhance a lot of the flavor and to really elevate your brisket to where you're not just tasting anything that's not seasoned is I actually I'm going to set this on a drying rack and let it sit in the fridge. So today is Monday. I'm not cooking this until Saturday evening. So about yay long. 3 days is probably enough, but the more that it sits in there, you'll actually get this to dry out a little bit more and you'll get more of that like crust. It's almost like a steak. I think it's really good. You try it, let me know what you think.
Oh, what are you doing in there? You must be just as excited for this as I am. Well, shoot, you got to be chilly. Come on, let's get this thing out of there and go cook it. All right, folks, it's ready to go. We're about ready to put it on there. Today is Friday, so it's been on there for about 4 days, I do believe. It's got nice dry on the outside, which will kind of seal in the juices. All that flavor should be penetrated into the brisket at this point. We're going to go get it on the smoker. I'm going to be using Kingsford charcoal and hickory wood. We're getting up to temp. Time to put it on the smoker. I'm using hickory wood today. Hickory is what I prefer. You can use apple, cherry, pecan, post oak. Hickory is what's available around here. It's what I prefer. I'm putting the point towards the middle because the smaller. This has got more fat, so it could take more heat. We're going to try to keep it around 200 to 250 degrees. I'm going to let this smoke at that temperature for about between 6 to 10, 12 hours, basically until once I get my barga established, and then I'll actually wrap it and finish it off in the oven. So I may or may not spray it in between. It just kind of depends on how I feel about it. But if I spray it, you'll see that next. So, little known fact. Kingsford charcoal was actually started by Henry Ford of the Ford Motor Company. Back in the day when they used to make the Model T, they actually had wood rims for the tires. And created a lot of excess sawdust, needed something to do with the excess sawdust, so they cooked it down, made charcoal, put it in the lumps, and that's where Kingsford charcoal comes from. So the more you know, folks. Hope you learned something. All right, so actually we just got done heating this up in the oven. I did finish it on the smoker. I took it off at about 5 in the morning, which was around 10, 11 hours of smoking, and then finished it off in the oven overnight. So it should be super, super tender. Let it cool down. Now it's the next day, and I just got done warming it up in the oven. I'd actually like to let it go just a little bit longer, but we got to make this. Actually, it's so rendered. I just had a big lump of fat come off in there. So she's looking good. Why don't you come in and look a little closer for me? She's nice and jiggly. All right, folks, this is the moment y'all been waiting for. Well, she sounds juicy. Oh. Now, should I do the thing where I smash on it so juices come out? No, I'm not going to do that because I want my juices in my meat. But just know, if I wanted to, I could smash on this and a bunch of juices would come out. But this isn't that kind of channel. We're realistic. We're doing things normal, okay? Oh, hey. Did you want to see me on camera? Show you if this is any good? How about that dust storm? My dad, he's convinced that it's going to make this thing dusty. So we're going to just make sure before I bring it over to him that it's good. Hey, take a look at this. Come here. My wife just made this homemade sourdough jalapeno cheddar focaccia. Comment down in the section if you'd like to see a video with my wife doing some baking. She probably could be the sourdough queen of YouTube, but we'll see. We'll see if people want that. All right, so I'm gonna just do a basic and just try it with this this bread and this meat here. Yeah, you'll want to do this, especially with this bread. Oh my goodness, it makes it good. Well, this has been Brisket in a Dust Storm. Thanks for stopping in. I love you. Jesus loves you. See you in the next video.